right, everybody. Today we're going to begin adding our features onto our Pinch Pot monsters. Some extra tools you're going to need today is a fork. We're going to want to maybe revisit this pencil tool, our smoothing tool to help us attach things on. And this is actually a garlic press, but we're going to use it like a clay extruder. And some of you are going to want to use this for some little finishing details. So let's get into it. Here is my Pinch Pot that I left off with. If you did not do so last time, you want to make sure to find that texture that you liked and add it to the whole sides, all the sides and top of your Pinch Pot. Then kind of remember, look back at your planning sheet to kind of go over which style you're doing. And once you kind of remind yourself of that, grab some extra clay and these tools. If you made some things last time that were still on your tray, you can just begin right with those. But if needed, grab some more clay. Now, let me just kind of remind you how I did some of these things, and then I'll show you how to put them on. To make some of my eyes, I took a small piece of clay, and I just kind of sculpt a lot with these fingers here. And to make my eyes, I took a piece, rolled it around in between my hands to make a circle, and then I kind of set it on the table and just gave it a slight little push down to flatten it a little bit. Then I grabbed that pencil tool, and I really like to use the bottom of it to create that hole for the eye. Some people like to use the other side to make a smaller dot for the eye. And some people even take it a step further and make yet another little circle, squish it a little bit, that then gets set on top. Now, last time I told you though that you can't just stick clay together and leave it like that. There's a special way to attach these things. So today, if you need to kind of just set some things on just to kind of see what it might look like, maybe I want to put this eye here, that's fine to kind of practice a little bit. But when I decide that I want that there, there's something I need to do. And that's called scoring. Scoring uses this fork, and we're going to use it to do some little scratches where I'm putting the clay together. And then since I'm putting that eye right up here, I need to do some scratches there as well. Now, before I move on, I need to take a little bit of water on my fingers and put a little bit of water on these scratches and a little bit of water on those scratches. Then I can take the two pieces and gently kind of push and kind of squish them together a little bit like that. The last thing I want to do is use my finger to either kind of smooth those together or grab one of these wooden tools that kind of curve up like this. This kind of helps you get in where your fingers can't reach to smooth those two pieces together. So I want to go right in between those two, kind of stick this in there and kind of just curve it to smooth them together. So let's see if I can do that. Just squeeze it in there, even the back, just kind of going around, smoothing those together. Those scratches in the water kind of work together to create almost like a Velcro or glue for the clay, and it will keep this on there even after it gets cooked. So no matter how big or small the thing that you're putting on, so even if I was going to add that extra little piece to the eye, I need to score it. Do those little scratches, scratch where it goes, water, water, and stick it on a little bit. Look at that eye, it's looking cool. Maybe I still want to go back in and poke one more little dot. Pretty neat. Now imagine I'm just going to continue looking at my plan, working with these little pieces, trying to use my fingers and the tools to help me mold and shape each little feature. Maybe I'm going to make some sharp teeth by pinching and flattening that to give me a spot to score. Let's just kind of get a couple last things on here. I won't do all of mine today. Now, put the water on there, stick it on, twist it on a little bit, and lastly, smooth it together with my fingers or those smoothing tools. It's coming to life. Now imagine, let's say I want something like this tail sticking on. We talked before we started building that things that stick out too far can be kind of fragile. So when it comes to things like this tail here, dip that in the water, push it on. Instead of just leaving this whole tail sticking out like this, that could be really, really fragile. Instead of doing that, I'm going to now try to bend the tail kind of carefully back towards the body. And even just doing that, having it kind of curve back towards the front like this, will make it a lot safer than having the whole thing stick out. If I want to take it a step further even, I could scratch a little bit right here, put a little bit of water on there, and kind of stick that tail even right back onto the body. Now it can almost be like a little handle too, but that's going to really keep the whole thing safe. Now, imagine if you were somebody that's having theirs stand up like this, a tail or something in the back like this could work really good to keep it from tipping over. If you're going to put legs on your monsters, you definitely might want something in the back like this to kind of help hold it up from tipping over. So now, where I'm at right here, I'm going to just continue to add on maybe another eye, some more teeth, maybe put my tongue down in there too, because my goal, remember, was to add as many things as my age. But I want to really quickly end by showing you one special tool. There's one of these for each table, and you do need to make sure that these little holes are cleared out before you use it. So if somebody didn't clean it correctly the last time, you'll have to just clean out some of that clay inside there. But this can really be fun for some maybe hair or other textures of your monster. And to do so, you just simply put a piece inside there, flip this back over, and then use your muscles to squeeze it out. And then you can see as I squish down, I'm going to get all these stringy kind of fun coils. These would be really hard to score, but you can kind of bunch them together a little bit and maybe pick a spot on your monster. So let's say I'm going to put a little hairdo back here. At least score where it's going. So I'm still going to put the scratches there and a little bit of the water as I kind of then push on my little hairdo there. But look at that. That's kind of fun. Now imagine when I get the rest of the features on there, he'll have this kind of cool little mohawk going on. So you're the artist. Explore the tools today. See what you can add to your monster. And when you get as many things as your age or more on it, come show me. Have fun.